G'day everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I'll be throwing out 10 more Canadian GeoGuessr tips to improve your GeoGuessr in Canada. Has been a theme on my channel for a while and I've done pretty well, so I'm just going to throw out 10 more GeoGuessr tips in Canada that will help you improve. So let's get into it. So first tip I have for you here is this fire hydrant. It's yellow with blue nozzles and a blue top. And you see this fire hydrant, the only city in Canada which uses this fire hydrant is Edmonton in Alberta, as you won't find this in any other city. Ottawa has a similar one where it's just blue and yellow, but the nozzles are yellow, so it doesn't have blue nozzles. That's the only difference really. But Edmonton has blue top and blue nozzles. So we see this fire hydrant, just go in Edmonton, Alberta and get some easy points. Alright, next second tip I have here, I might have said this one before but I might have not. So we're in Canada here, and if you see these like beigey brown coloured bins, I mean there's like heaps of them here with some blue bins sometimes as well. These brown beigey bins are pretty common in Regina and only found there. Like they're pretty common there. You can only find them in Regina. They're the only city in Canada which have them. And when you're in different, especially when in the prairies, you're in a prairie looking town, but you see these beige coloured bins, brownish bins, you can only be in Regina. Not even Saskatoon has these bins, only Regina or any other prairie city. So yeah, very, very helpful tip. And yeah, go there and get some easy points. Next one over here is about Northwestern Territory bollards. So we are in Northwestern Territories, just outside Yellowknife, and we got this bollard. It looks very, very similar to an Alberta bollard, but the difference is that these black stripes are a lot thicker in Northwest Territories. I think if you remember in Alberta they're a bit thinner. If you go back to my first video, it's got over 1,000 views now on Canada tips, then you realise they're a bit smaller and the white gap is a bit bigger. So the black strips are just a lot thicker in the Northwest Territory bollards, but Alberta and have very similar bollards. But when you're looking pretty northern, you got Gen 2 coverage as well, which is only really in Yellowknife only has Gen 2 coverage, but around the outside might be a bit of Gen 4 as well. But yeah, with Gen 2 and these good bollards, you should just be probably just near Yellowknife really. So yeah, pretty good tip to know as well. Our next one, this is probably not the nichest tip out of all these. It's probably the least nichest, but it's just a good way to figure out which province you're in Canada. If you see a maximum sign that says secteur, or however you pronounce it at the bottom, that's only found in Quebec. So it's pretty obvious it's French. And yeah, so if you remember, I've told you that if it says kilometers per hour underneath, that's only BC, British Columbia. If it says kilometers per hour with a black strip at the bottom, that's only Ontario. And if you see this secteur thingy, however you pronounce it, at the bottom, then you're only going to be in Quebec. So just a good way to figure out which province you're in. If you don't maybe have the stop sign, which I think we do we? No, we don't have a stop sign here, but yeah, if you could, just a good way to figure out where you are. So yeah. Next one over here is quite a niche one, so pay attention here. So we're here in Ontario, we got like front plates, it's Gen 4, but you can get front plates in a few places. Architecture looking pretty Ontarian as well. But we have these street signs. Usually in Ontario, you're just gonna have plain blue or green street signs, mainly blue actually. But in Kitchener, which is the city we're in, you usually have a white top edge and a white bottom edge on the street signs, which is only found in Kitchener. Nowhere else, I don't think in Canada has that. Maybe let me know if you do find somewhere else, but this is the only place I've found in Canada with this combination of like street sign with white top and bottom edge. So yeah, if you see this kind of street sign, top and bottom white edge, then yeah, you're just going to be in Kitchener, which if you don't know, I'll just show you where that is real quick. We're just here. There's Guelph, there's Toronto, we're just there, and then Kitchener's just over here. So yeah, if you zoom into Kitchener and you just like look for somewhere that looks pretty good, like, I don't know, let's just click on like this intersection or something, you should just come across those street signs. Like here we are, here. I think we actually were here before, but yeah, I think we were. But yeah, it's a good tip to know anyway. So. Okay, next tip I have for you here is just as it loads. Here we go. So I've got a few tips in this location here. We are in Fredericton, the capital of New Brunswick, and the first tip I have for you here is the stop sign. I don't know if you guys do know, I might have told you before, but if you have stop and array on a stop sign, then you're only going to be in New Brunswick like 99% of the time. Stop and array signs are found in New Brunswick, and yeah, maybe slightly Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island, but yeah, pretty good bet. Probably just go New Brunswick. And another tip I thought I had for you here is about front plates, because in Canada, BC, Manitoba, and Ontario are the only provinces using front plates. New Brunswick is an interesting one because they use front plates all the time and until 2019, where they stopped using it and they don't use front plates anymore. So we're in 2022 coverage here, and as I can find the front of any cars. Let's just move over here or something. I can't find the front of any cars. Are we still in the Gen 4? We are. So if you move over here, you can see these two cars here are front plates, but this one doesn't. That one does. That one doesn't. That one doesn't. So in New Brunswick, you can get a bit of a mix of the new coverage, but maybe more no front plates. And we switch it to some older coverage, like here we go down to like, so 2019 is when they stopped. We go to like 2013 or something, or 2015 maybe. Let's go 2015. We have a lot of cars here. We see that all the cars have front plates. So there's front plate, front plate. Probably another step. Front plate, front plate, front plate. So yeah, all the cars really have front plates before 2019, and they're a little bit reddish as well. So it's good to know as well. But yeah, so some towns still have the older coverage before 2019, but as we're in Fredericton, the newer coverage. And yeah, as you can see, some cars have front, some do not. So yeah, that's another good tip to know in New Brunswick. They have a bit of a mix there. And yeah, they use front plates until 2019. And as you saw in the first bit, we had stop and array on that stop sign. Well, if you move to the stop sign just over the road, if I can get to it. Let's get rid of this. That's not needed. It just says stop. So it's not always. So if you just see stop on a sign, don't just think it's not New Brunswick, because it still could be. It's probably not Quebec, but I think I have seen rare occasions there. But New Brunswick's not impossible. As we move over here, it says stop at A. So yeah. So that's just, so there's a few tips in this location just to figure out you're in New Brunswick. And yeah, pretty helpful too, because New Brunswick can look very similar to like Nova Scotia and PEI and places like that. So yeah. Let's move to the next one. Okay. Next tip I have for you here is about Halifax, Nova Scotia, the capital city of Nova Scotia. And the thing I have here is they used orange fire hydrants, which is the only city in Canada that uses orange fire hydrants. No other city in Canada uses orange fire hydrants, and maybe just some surrounding cities around Halifax. But you should just be in Halifax if you just see an orange fire hydrant anywhere in Canada. You don't have to figure out where. No, if you see an orange fire hydrant, just plonk it in Halifax, and yeah, you'll get really, really nice points. Alright, next one, just as it loads in. Right, so now we've got some more specific kind of niche tips. So we are on the top of the World Highway in Yukon, which is up near the border with Alaska. And this is a very distinct landscape. You're in like some massive mountains just high up. You got the Gen 2 coverage as well. And yes, sometimes you can also see some bikers following you as well, which is interesting. It's fun in this location. But you also got this very interesting coloured vegetation where it's like the trees are quite short because we're pretty far north. And yeah, so we see we're pretty high up in the mountains. We got the trees here, and yeah, this is just a pretty distinct top of the world highway kind of road. So if you see this in anything like Community World or something, you can just instantly get the road. So like this is a really, really helpful tip. And yeah, pretty niche as well. Right, next one. Another very niche tip here. We are here in Churchill, Manitoba, which is right on the north coast, along with Hudson Bay. And you can see here, the car matter is pretty distinct here. It's like we've got an antenna like you see maybe in Guam or NMI or Puerto Rico. And yeah, everything else is blurred out. But you can see it's very snowy. Very, very snowy. Just snow everywhere. They took this in October 2013. But it's pretty snowy here. There's just nothing else here. And if you got the antenna with all the snow, you should just be here in Churchill, which is just in the north coast of Manitoba, along with Hudson Bay. As you can see up here, that's Churchill over there. So yeah, pretty helpful. Okay, next tip. Wow, we've actually finally got to the last tip, and this is a very, very, very niche one. So this is the most northern coverage you can get, I think maybe in the world, but definitely in Canada. This is very northern coverage. We're in this national park. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. I think it's on Ellesmere Island, and this is what it looks like. It looks very cold. We got someone doing the trek, as you can see in the shadow there. But yeah, it's very, very cold. The sun is not even useful. It's in the west here because we're so far north. It was taken in 2016. But yeah, it's just got these rocks around and snow and that. Very distinctive looking place. And if you get this, you would get massive points here, like in joules or anything. I don't know if they include it in joules, but yeah, it's just a very, very niche thing. And a good one to end out the video on. And hang on, just before I do it. Yes, we're on this stretch of street view coverage right up here. Very, very far north. Yeah, I think it might be the most northern coverage in the world, to be honest. We're way up here where the mouse is. Yeah. It's only north stuff. Let me just click on it again. Yeah, same thing. So yeah guys, that will conclude the video. Thank you so much for watching all the way in. Please do subscribe. It really does help out the channel. I'm trying to get 200 subscribers, maybe even more by the end of the year. It really help it. Share it with a friend if you really did like it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.